Are you sitting comfortably? And we'll begin.
Everybody, how's it going out there? And welcome to another weekend update. A day late and $1 short, admittedly, but
wow, two days late and $2 short.
No, a day, you know.
True.
Yeah, 24 hours. 24 hours there.
Sorry, my mind's already a day ahead.
Yeah. You're already in Tuesday, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
And Commander should be here any moment. We were expecting him, so we'll see what happens. We might have to fundraise to send out Community Watch to find him. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, he's been taken down by the ICE agents.
Oh, I hope not. I hope not. You know, maybe they went after his dog because it's an immigrant, right? You know, Malamutes aren't actually from America.
Yeah, get a proper American dog like what?
I'm not sure. An American hound dog, a wiener dog.
I don't know. That's German.
Yeah. Poodles are popular in like Beverly Hills.
French.
Yeah,
that's French.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
There is they say the American Bull Terrier, but isn't that just like a mutated British Bulldog?
English Bull Terrier.
Yeah.
I know. The American Bull Terriers are the one that ride skateboards.
Oh, right. Yeah. Popular in music video culture, you know. You might be wondering, why the hell am I a little Lego figurine? I just can't be on camera right now. I woke up this morning and somebody had surgically attached a Trump turkey neck thinking it was Halloween, and I don't need it yet, so I have to get it removed, but I'll be fixed soon.
Yeah, you got to give that Botox a couple of days, I mean, to settle down.
Yeah, I can imagine me. That'd be funny. But speaking of funny, we can start in with something that I could not believe was a real article until I got to actually looking into it. But the Louvre Museum was ripped off in broad daylight.
Yes, it was.
Unbelievable power tools they used to break into the most visited museum in broad daylight. They escaped on scooters with 8 extremely valuable items of jewelry. I can't believe that this is a story that just happened, not like from 80 years ago, you know, or like a script.
Yeah.
You know, they arrived at 9:30 local time shortly after the museum opened. The 4 suspects arrived in a vehicle-mounted mechanical lift to gain access to the Gallery of Apollo, the balcony close to the river sign. Pictures from the scene showed the ladder leading up to the window. They got inside by cutting through the window with power tools. They threatened the guards who evacuated the premises and cut through the glass of the 2 display case containing the jewels. Yeah. So 1 in 3 rooms in that area of the museum had no CCTV cameras either. And the police say the thieves were inside for 4 minutes.
No CCTV. What? Hang on. Is that sure they weren't breaking into Epstein's jail?
Yeah, right into his cell by the sounds of it, you know. But imagine that. Like that sounds to me like they knew exactly where they would get the least amount of exposure. They knew where to go, you know.
Oh yeah. Well, they probably only had to go there the day before and have a little look around.
Yeah. I've seen that in many movies, you know. Don't they watch their, you know?
Crazy.
Yeah. I'm just looking through here. Someone, culture minister, somebody else, blah, blah, whoever, said the thieves seem to be experienced with a well-prepared plan. Yeah, no shit, honey. You gotta be kidding me.
Escaped on scooters, like teenagers.
Yeah, exactly. Right, just like that scene in E.T. with the kids riding on their bikes, you know. Yeah, so 8 items were taken. There was a jeweled headband, necklaces, earrings, and brooches, all from the 19th century, and once belonging to French royalty or imperial rulers. So like it goes on and on to say, and it's really nice looking stuff. Obviously, they're going to have to break it apart to its pieces because unless you know somebody that wants to buy it and hide it from the public, what the hell are you going to do with this stuff?
Well, and that takes us to our sponsor tonight, eBay, where all listings are free now.
That's right. Yeah. And if you're unsure the item works, just put it as untested. eBay tradition. Come one, come all. Sell what you've got. eBay for everyone.
It's great. Yeah. I mean, maybe it was stolen to order. You know, that sort of thing does happen.
It's almost sounding like it. Right?
But then who would have it? Who would wear it? You know, it's like you can't take it out in public.
Exactly.
You get spotted.
Yeah, I mean, aside from Elon Musk, there's not a lot of evil geniuses that can afford to put this stuff away and just enjoy them for the sake of having them, you know?
I mean, talking about thievery, well, there's a woman in Germany who is just handed back a ancient relic she stole over 50 years ago, returning it to Greece. She basically stole the top of an ancient column in Olympia.
Wow.
It's like you know, it's like a foot across. It's not like, you know, lightweight. It's a big lump of rock.
Yeah.
Limestone. She obviously just, I don't know where she just stole it.
What is she, like an ogre that worked with Cirque du Soleil? How does this how do you pull this off?
I don't know, but it's basically it was in a museum in Germany for years and years and years, and then eventually they decided to just hand it back.
Wow.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
You can have it back now.
Just realized this was stolen.
Found it in my handbag. I didn't know it was
there. Yeah. No wonder that plane ticket was more expensive for weight. You know?
Crazy.
Yeah, I mean, what did somebody just use it to like put atop the gazebo in their garden or something,
Yeah, just
you know?
just use it as a doorstop. Yeah.
I remember a story of some woman using something as a doorstop for years. Turns out it was worth like 50 grand or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Or so either that or it's a bomb.
Yeah, exactly. Every time the grandson gets mad and slams the door, could have killed her. Yeah. Well, speaking of could have killed, here's one that I couldn't believe when I was reading it. But artillery shrapnel was hitting vehicles on the California highway during the Marines celebration that right-wing morons decided was an awesome idea. Now, it's great to celebrate the Marines. Don't get me wrong here, right? But J.D. Vance and co. thought it would be a great idea to fire live munitions over a highway, a freeway. And
what did I mean? Never mind it exploding as it crosses the highway.
Yeah.
What was going to happen to the shells when it hit the other side of its live ammunition? What were they shooting at?
I know. I don't understand. Two of the vehicles that were struck were part of Vance's protective detail.
Oh, well, there you go. That's good.
Right.
That's
so
good.
at least I can say this with confidence. The Marines have aim. Right.
They knew what they were doing.
Yeah, exactly. They weren't wasting rounds. And Gavin Newsom there, the governor of California, busted a nut over this. Like, he was like, firing live rounds over a busy highway isn't just wrong, it's flat out dangerous. And I can't believe, like, there was discussion. Should we close the highway for this? And J.D. Vance and co. were like, no, we don't need to. They should see it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, isn't it also like, well, what do you mean? What do they can just see it? I mean, what are you going to see with live ammo firing? You're not going to see anything. That's the whole point.
Yeah. I mean, if the drivers saw the live ammo going over, there would have been a pileup and a freaking stampede, you idiots.
What they do? Put like smoke coming out of the back of it, like it's like a, a red arrow formation going on.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't see like live ammo. Oh, Jesus Christ. And surely, it's probably also illegal, isn't it?
It should, right? I mean, there's some pictures online if you want to look. It's ridiculous. There's people holding the shrapnel and stuff, so it's not like it's, fake news or whatever that Trump will call it. But one of the officers said it was like pebbles raining down on his patrol motorcycle. Several pieces of the shrapnel were found, one that dented the hood of a patrol car. I mean, Jesus Christ, it turns into friendly fire just because J.D. Vance is within 500 miles of it happening,
Yeah, well, American military good at friendly fire is one of their famous for. But silly sods.
Yeah,
silly sods. I mean, they're lucky. They're lucky nobody got hurt. Really are lucky.
Very much so. Oh yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm scanning through it here. There's a little article about J.D. Vance patting himself on the back for being like really cool. If you don't know who J.D. Vance is, watch an episode of the most recent South Park. He's the little guy that talks like this. That's J.D. Vance.
Hey, we'll come back to that episode in a bit.
When? About 6 or 7 minutes?
Oh, stop it. About 6 or 7 minutes. Well, I mean, we should really be talking about the aftermath of No King's Day.
Yes.
Because that's been interesting. I mean, Trump literally shat on it.
Oh, big time. I'm sure you've all seen the video, so I'm sure we don't have to show it. But the jet fighter dropping shit on protesters video where Trump is the pilot.
Yeah.
What
a message to send to the American people.
Yeah.
Honest to God.
Yeah. You don't like me, I'll shit on you.
And that came from, did that come from the White House or account, or was it on his Truth Social? But it came from him.
Yeah, I know it.
Like it.
Yeah, it did at least come from his account. I could have been from more. Like, I'm not really sure, right? But yeah, for sure. But
It's
yeah,
insane.
like PJ CNET in the chat says, Trump is literally a troll.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't think there's any better way to describe it.
Yeah. But what did he say? Let me just see if I can find this on this page. He mentioned on Air Force One, people better be careful because, you're going to force me to use their Insurrection Act, and then I have complete, full control. Nothing you can do about it. He said, I'm trying not to, but if you're going to force me, nobody's forced anything. It's just protesting. What are you talking about? I would say senile, stupid old man, but he knows exactly what he's doing. This language is being chosen very carefully so that he can at least show his side of the argument's history and say, see, it's insurrection. I need the power.
Now, the funny thing is he completely downplayed the whole day as well. He said, there was hardly anybody there.
Yeah.
And it was a complete waste of time. It's just like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot more people there than there were at your birthday bash, Mr. Trump. So,
definitely, man. I got a couple here that Mexi Girl set up in the back.
Yeah, I saw a meme showing the crowds, his celebrating the military day or whatever he called it.
Yeah,
and the comparison to the same fields filled with millions and millions of people. Yeah, and they basically said it cost you 61 million for the first meeting, and the second one cost you nothing to prove you were a dick.
Exactly. Oh, yeah. There's here's a couple more. Let me just bring up a couple for you here. Oops, sorry, wrong button. This is harder than you think when you're only somewhat prepared. There's another one. There's another one. This one was funny. Here is your throne. The Camp Crusader himself came out. There was one. Have you talked to your cat about fascism?
That doesn't even make any sense, but I love it.
I know.
I saw one where some woman had a sign saying Trump is pro Tifa, and the bloke's doing an interview and said, "What the fuck does that even mean?" Pro Tifa, but he's pro fascist. Well, then shouldn't just be pro fa. It doesn't work. Oh,
he's proto-fascist. I don't know. Let me see here. Oh, okay. So, anybody listening to me right now live in Idaho? That sucks for you. Because 3 women got all choked up as they delivered news in a video posted to social media just absolutely recently. We did it. It's literally landmark, medical freedom. It's changing everything. You know what it is? It's the new thing that the new law that was just put through the books in Idaho. And where is it here? It's now illegal for state and local governments, private businesses, employers, schools, and daycares to require anyone to take vaccine or receive any other medical intervention.
Wow.
So if you live and work in Idaho right now, let me just make sure I get this right. Is it truly Idaho? Because it could be Ohio or something. I'm just screwing it up. No, it's Idaho. If you live and work in Idaho and your kids go to school or daycare or anything, get the hell out. if you give a rat's ass about your health and theirs, because place is going to be a cesspool of right-leaning MAGA diseases in just a couple of years.
Yeah. There'll be people in the streets with measles, polio, leprosy, the Black Death.
Oh, yeah.
Rubbing up against you. Yeah. Try a little bit of Ebola. Yummy.
Yeah. All the singles bars are going to close because everybody's going to have the drip or the itch, or something. I mean, everywhere you go, it's just going to be, it'll be like trying to live in the universe of The Walking Dead.
Yeah, I mean, the only places that will be like running those like date nights or those meetups will be like different diseases just coming to meet out and chat and mingle.
Yeah. And I mean, Gen Consensus, that's a good point. As long as you're all vaccinated and your children are, you'll be all right. Sure. But if you work there and 20% of the workforce is always like sick here and there and so on, and you're constantly have to like, oh, I really need you to cover a shift, so-and-so and blah, blah. And it's just not going to be good, I wouldn't want to be surrounded by a bunch of whack jobs that just can't simply, I mean, even with a COVID shot, man, I don't want a bunch of anti-maskers running around like freaks. So
the funny thing is as well, I mean, a lot of these people probably were vaccinated while they were in school or in college.
Oh, yeah.
They're already vaccinated. What are they going to do? Take it out?
Yeah, they're living with the benefits of vaccination all the while telling people not to get vaccinated. Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I never got smallpox. That's because you were vaccinated.
Yeah, Yeah, the last thing we need is people having measles parties and stuff, because if you think the vaccine is dangerous because 1 in a billion end up with an adverse reaction, why don't you go back and look into it and see how well the measles parties worked out for people? Guarantee the percentage of holy shit was a lot higher.
Yeah. You don't see many people hosting AIDS parties, do you?
Yeah. Although there probably are weird circles where gonorrhea parties actually happen. So we'll just leave that alone.
Yeah, you just didn't know it. It wasn't in the title.
Yeah. If you ever get invited to a clap party, have a think. You just never know. Well, how about something that's really spooky and nasty and a thing that we should all be horrified about? Because it scares the hell out of me. This is not a Trump thing. This is, once again, cloud security companies. This specifically is Ring doorbells, right? Amazon, their Ring company, their Ring doorbells and security cameras and stuff are very popular with people. I won't go into my hatred of them, just to say that I do. I don't like this whole locked in company thing, and in the fine print, they have access to your stuff. But here is a case in point on why that fine print is so important. There's a company called Flock Technologies, and Flock do AI-driven cameras for towns and townships and cities for the police. And they just did some where Louis Rossman, YouTuber, lives, and he's been fighting them. I think it's somewhere in Texas. And Flock are just spreading like wildfire, and every single thing that happens on the street is analyzed by AI and all this. It's horrible 1984 stuff. Well, Amazon has just signed an agreement with Flock, and now all users of their Ring doorbells and their security camera system, the Amazon Ring system, will be sharing your camera's footage with Flock. So everything that happens on your cameras will also get the total AI thing and the whole 9 yards. And oh yeah, is it some nasty, scary stuff? Hey, Commander, how's it going?
I'm late. Sorry.
No problem. How's it going? Things okay?
Oh, managing puppies is a lot harder than I thought.
I had a feeling that would be the case.
Yeah. It's all right. We'll dock it from your pay.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I was just talking about that Flock Technologies that do the AI surveillance cameras that a lot of cities and authorities are using.
Yep.
They just signed a deal with Amazon to have access to people's Ring camera footage and stuff. The whole Amazon security camera system based on Ring and everything is now at the mercy of Flock to use for AI and, just to see if maybe your camera caught a car go by or something or whatever. How good is that?
George Orwell, Big Brother.
Yeah, exactly.
See, I've got one of those high-tech doorbell systems where you press a little button on the front of it and it goes ding dong. Haven't had to change the battery in 20 years. What the hell's going on there? What's that all about?
Well, speaking of battery, I remember at first when some of these doorbell cams came out, you could just use the wires for your doorbell. Your doorbell would still ring and it would power the damn thing. But now they're all rechargeable and stuff. So, I mean, why doesn't a crook just go up with like dark sunglasses and a full black outfit on so you can't see, grab the doorbell, rip it off, and then do their thing? I mean, these things, I don't even understand, that's not security to me.
Yeah, you could just put a bit of tape over it.
Yeah,
No, I'm not giving anybody any ideas.
You just have to figure out how to approach.
Yeah, exactly, right? You could have, sneak up and spray paint it. But, you can really keep yourself from being identified and then just simply grab the camera because it's barely secured because it's got to be recharged. It's crazy. No.
Just go dress as a raccoon. You already got the mask on.
Yeah. I tell everybody,
it's the Antifa people in their frog
yeah.
costumes. That's what it is.
But I'm telling people all the time, I mean, you can build a tiny server for this to run your own security system from like a $75 Raspberry Pi, and you can buy the cameras for about $75 and you never have to pay a subscription or anything. You can still get beeps on your phone and see it. That's the way to do security, people. Let's see.
Tell you what, I got a story here. Because it's going to need some explanation from Commander about this because he's in the know. He's down with the kids. So there was this video of a female sports presenter, and she's just trying to do a report, and they got all these oiks, like 22-year-old college kids. It's like behind her, shouting and screaming and getting in front of the camera, just being utter yubs about the whole thing. And one of the guys was just shouting 6-7, 6-7.
Oh no!
At the and of course this takes us into the South Park episode where everything was at 6-7, 6-7 this, 6-7 that, and I didn't have a clue what was going on. I had to go and look it up, and then what it turns out is that most people haven't a clue about this. It's just the kids know about it.
Well, even the kids, many of them don't know about it. It's just all the cool kids are doing it, so I need to do it too, so I'm not left out.
Exactly.
You nailed it. You
Yes.
nailed it. You see, I knew Commander would know all about this, being such a young, sprightly young man.
Yeah. It's literally peer pressure and social But it's just all of that kind of stuff wrapped up in one right there. How quickly something stupid like that can spread because, well, if it's cool, it's cool. It's
bonkers.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
I remember when I was in high school, the big thing was you do the thing with your finger and hold it down below your waistline, and if somebody was caught looking, you could slug them in the arm. So, how dumb can you get?
Or 2 for flinching.
Yeah, it's just there are fads that pop up all the time, and they'll last for a year or two, and after that 99% of people will have completely forgotten about it, and when you try to remind them, they go, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
No, I think that's very much true.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Well, I didn't come with any.
Yeah.
What we think needs to be done post-Trump, post-MAGA, to fix the myriad of ills that he will have left in place.
Oh.
I figure people...
Sorry, you wait me to answer that one.
No. Just,
number one.
I think people in chat stream will have ideas. I'm sure you two will. I hit on 3.5 things that I think would be important to do. And I think the first one is relatively simple, is to reorganize the tax structure in the country so that we stop transferring
one second here, Commander.
You're where you get.
Commander, 1 second here. You're literally dropping in and out, and the viewers are missing a few of the things you're saying. There's a real connection issue for yourself here again.
I'll try to popping out and coming back in.
How long has it been since that computer was restarted?
A day, 2 days.
Give it a full restart and pop back in.
Okay, will do.
Okay, cool. We'll get him to restart as soon as he pops back in. Because there's nothing really over here that I can do. The whole connection issue is totally on his side. We'll have to get him a set of those power line adapters,
Yep.
Yeah. Because there's something about his house or something with his Wi-Fi, and it just gets a bit sketchy for video chat in his basement sometimes. But the basement's the way better place for him to do this stuff. So, we better get that fixed. Definitely.
Well, while we're waiting for him to come back, there was a thing about Trump's approval rating been posted recently, and amongst Republicans, his approval rate is at 77%, and disapproval is 22%. Yeah, okay, you kind of expect that. Republicans still like him. Whatever. But this was what surprised me amongst Democrats. Disapproval was at 93%, and approval was at 5%.
Oh, but that's got to be 5%. Just they're that outlying plus or minus because they were drunk when the phone rang.
I don't know. It's like how can there be anybody approving Trump on the Democratic side? I mean, really?
They probably asked a few guys that were just landing in El Salvador, and they were like, "Oh yeah, Trump," just being sarcastic,
Yeah, I just got a job with ICE. I kind of like him now. Yeah. I mean, I was obviously overall his approval ratings are just like plummeting.
Yeah,
but I just couldn't believe those numbers when I saw it.
Yeah, right. So, speaking of Trump here, okay, Commander's just coming back in. Did you guys see that crazy son of a bitch has actually started knocking down
Yeah.
at the White House to make sure his ballroom and stuff? He said it wouldn't touch any of the White House, and he has actually done it. Unbelievable.
He's so desperate to leave his thumbprint because he knows he's on his way out. And, he knows his health is failing and such. And so he wants to leave his legacy, the Trump arch he keeps talking about, the giant ballroom, all of this crap. It's because he wants everybody to remember he was there.
Oh, they'll remember, all right. It'll take them ages to get rid of the smell.
Yeah. They're not going to remember in favorable ways.
Yeah, I mean, the staff trying to fix just the White House after him are going to be like, oh, man, just dipping and de-golding everything, Yeah,
well, that heads back to what you were talking about, Commander, about, what do you do after post-Trump? And obviously redecorating the White House, putting the Rose Garden back, all these sort of like hideous things that he's done just to the building. That's going to be issue number one. Probably not the most important, but it's going to have to happen.
Yeah.
Definitely. And, I think
yeah.
And it's that legacy that frightens me, because when people no longer see their participation in the political process as being worthwhile, cut out, it's basically handing over the reins of power to that small group with all the damn money. So.
Okay, I just tried another thing. There was still the odd audio drop from yourself out to the show. I don't know. I don't understand why. I turned down the bit rate for the return video to you, and I think it's looking like it's clearing up here. Let's see if this setting helps. I just switched this to the anyway. Let's see if let me know in the chat, everybody, if because I think it should be all right here. Commander, what do you think is going to be the order of importance for a Democratic-led term for articles to fix? Yeah.
Well, I think one of the first things whoever incoming new president, assuming it's a Democrat, would do is just have a list of every executive order the Orange God King signed and cancel them. Revert to the system pre-Trump.
And refund all the federal agencies that he's trashed.
Well, not just that, it's all of the stuff. It's, the executive orders about who can come across the border and who can get visas and how long people can, stay on Medicare and all of this stuff. It's just stacking up all these little chips in the system that he's doing, which are there very specifically to benefit him and the other billionaires. And I think unraveling that is really simple. As a simple starting action would be to simply go down that list. I mean, we know what they are because every executive order is numbered. So the first executive order he signed when he came into office, and then look at the last one he'll sign out, when he leaves office. And then just all you have to do is say the following executive orders are hereby canceled.
Right.
Right.
That's all you have to do. President. It would be that one simple task. The next thing, as I tried to say before, I don't know if I'm still coming through or not.
It looks like it is. It looks like it is.
Okay. The other thing the next easy step, I think, is to revise the tax code and shift the burden off of the middle class and put it on to the wealthy who can definitely afford it. And I know that a lot of the GOP folks complain, oh no, we pay all our taxes. No, you don't, because you have so many special exceptions written into law about, okay, if you have an investment with this, you don't get taxed. You have anything over this amount is exempt, and so forth. You rewrite the tax code so that they're paying their fair share. When you have cases of somebody like, say, Gates paying fewer taxes annually than my cleaning lady.
Yeah.
That's wrong.
Yeah.
And, and there are so many exemptions and exceptions built into the system that they really get away with not paying their fair share.
Yeah.
I would start that as a number 2 step.
If the percentage was equal, there would be way less burden on the average person to be stuck paying that little bit more that really screws them around.
Yeah, and I think that's very true, because you look at it, and I think right now there are, after the great simplification, there are 5 tax brackets.
Yeah.
And yes, each of the brackets pays allegedly incrementally more than the previous one, but it's not structured in such a way that they're paying equal amounts. Because if you're only making, and I'm pulling numbers out of my ass, so just bear with me.
Yeah.
But, if you're only making, say, 40 grand a year, how much of that percentage of 40 grand a year goes to you having to pay for rent, pay for food, pay for transportation, and how much do you have left to squirrel away for, retirement investments or healthcare or any of that stuff that's in, that definitely needs to be there. Whereas even if somebody in the top bracket, making, let's say, over 10 million a year or something, even if they're being taxed the same amount, for the mortgage on their home and the mortgage on their car and all of the other stuff that goes in is tiny in comparison to how much the person at the lower end of the spectrum is paying. So I think if you raise those taxes and start eliminating the exemptions and exceptions, so that the people at the top tier are paying commensurately a relatively equal amount to what that person is paying, I think that's a much fairer system for all concerned. In fact, it probably means you can lower the taxes that people at the lower end of the spectrum have as compared to the people at the upper end of the spectrum.
Yeah. And when you have that much, let's face it, if you're crying about that little bit in taxes, oh my God, go cry to somebody else. Holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah. And you've got so much money that you could be spending $1 million a day for the rest of your life. Your kids could be spending $1 million a day for the rest of their lives, and probably the same for your grandchildren. And you still wouldn't exhaust the huge amounts of money that you have in all your investment accounts and everything else. So, you know, as opposed to somebody who's really struggling to put food on the table and keep a roof over the heads of the family.
Yeah.
And of course, you have the other thing as well, with like some of these multi-billionaires, you know, doing a lot of creative accountancy to make it look like they're not actually earning any money, which is clearly not true.
And that's why those are the exceptions and exemptions I'm talking about, where, I mean, I may be wrong on this, but my understanding is one of the reasons that so many CEOs and owners of businesses get paid in stock options is because they don't actually own the stock until they exercise that option. Ergo, they can't be taxed on that income because it's not really income according to, you know, creative accountancy.
Yeah.
Unless they sell it and make a profit on it.
Yeah.
So that's two things. I think a third thing, and this is really tough, is we need to get rid of Citizens United. We need to go back to something resembling equality of vote, where it's one man, one vote, as opposed to you and I get one vote, but the guy with millions to put into, you know, political action committees and under the table donations to people, you know, that money is effectively buying votes, and that does not create a fair system. A fair system is, as I said, it's one man, one vote. You can use all that money to try to come up with marketing programs that say this candidate is better because of X, but you need to be open about who's funding that, so we can look and say, well, candidate X says he's for the little guy, except we look at it and 95% of all the donations he received is from these four corporations. And I think that's an important element that needs to come in, because Citizens United basically says that money is free speech, and how you spend that money to influence things via speech is not something that can be interfered with legally. And that's why I think Citizens United being taken down is important. Tied into that is the whole thing of all these bot farms, because social media is really pernicious. You get so many people that look at the account and say, well, obviously candidate X or, you know, initiative Y are really what everybody wants, because there's so many people on the websites talking about them. But you dig deeper and you find out, you know, 25, 30, 40% of the people that are saying bots. And I think that needs to be somehow controlled. We need to come out, find a way to come out and say that if you're an actual person posting your opinion, it's one thing, whereas an AI posting that and posing as an actual person, a voter, that's completely different.
Yeah.
You know, and we need to define the limits of free speech. And I really feel uncomfortable saying that, because it can be used in the bad way, and it can also be used in a good way. It's the old argument of, you know, is it free speech to be allowed to go into a crowded theater and scream fire, fire, just so you can watch people injure themselves and get killed trying to escape a building that really isn't on fire? You just thought it was funny to do.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, though, Commander. I don't see in the current political scheme of things because with the like the hate of I'm a Republican, I hate a Democrat, this whole back and forth is so broken that there's no traditional compromise to get things done or anything anymore. Anybody who tries to lay out the rules for what true free speech looks like and what its few exceptions should be will be vilified by the other side. I don't see this being able to happen ever.
I agree. That's why I said it's difficult, but I think it's something that needs to be done.
I agree.
Because if we don't do something about it and we continue down the multi-lane highway that we're driving at balls out speed on,
Yeah.
we're going to crash into that wall that says the system no longer works. Autocracy, that's what we're going to have because we can't agree with each other on what changes are necessary to be done. And I don't think it's quite as bad as you say. I think that there are a small number of actors, arguably on both sides of this political spectrum, who are trying to generate that animosity, that refusal to compromise, that refusal to talk to the other side. Because, for example, my neighbor, I know my neighbor is a very conservative Republican.
Mhm.
I know they vote for Trump. That's fine. But I can talk to them and we can agree on certain, at least local issues of, yeah, maybe doing it this way is better than the way that the MAGA sponsored candidate says he wants to do it. People, one-on-one are willing to talk and compromise. And I think that's true across the nation. And I think it's that, going back to what I was saying about Citizens United, it's the ability of certain parties to force people into believing that dialogue and compromise are no longer possible because it meets their goals and objectives. And at least on the right side, we know that one of those is to create an autocratic state where the average individual has no say.
Yeah. Well, now we were talking about limits there and whatnot. Can that take the discussion to the Supreme Court?
Yeah, I think it would have to be. I don't think there's any way you could avoid it because
Agreed.
Precedent has established very clear, open-ended limits on what can and what can't be called free speech. And I think we need to come together and find a way to say, okay, certain things don't really qualify as free speech because they are not just harmful, but deliberately intended to be harmful.
Well, that's the interesting thing because free speech, as you said, yeah, everybody can have free speech, but there's always free speech with consequences.
Yes,
and the interesting thing is, you'd have thought by now that we, as the human race, would have the moral compass to go, well, I could say that, but I'm not going to do that because that makes me an asshole.
I think it even goes further than that. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to take an example from what my wife experienced when she went to the No King's Day protests on Saturday. And we had, we're a fairly small community here. We had about 250, 300 people show up for the protest. And arguably, there were only one or two counter protesters, and they were walking along the line, the sidewalk where all the people were standing with their, No Kings protest signs, with whatever it was that they had, Trump is a godly man, or I don't know. But the majority of people standing there protesting were saying, good for you. You're exercising your right to free speech. What you're saying isn't hurting people. You're peaceably walking with a sign.
Yeah.
You're not trying to cause an incident. You're not throwing stones at people. You're not one of these a-holes that in an earlier case we had where they're standing there with their AR-15s in full combat gear on the opposite corner, glaring at you
Yeah.
with itchy trigger fingers. You know, that,
Well, those guys are all ice
arguably,
now.
in my opinion, is not free speech.
No,
That's
exactly.
threat and coercion.
Yes. I totally agree there. I think the average citizen would totally agree on all of these points. The problem becomes when you get these lawyer-based politicians and judges that start going through precedent and so on and whatnot. It becomes so convoluted, it'll never be workable. It's I hope that it can.
I think it can be workable, but what it takes is an administration that's willing to confront these issues.
Yeah. Yeah.
And for the most part, administrations don't want to cause that kind of confrontation.
Oh.
As soon as they get in office, the idea is to
Yeah.
avoid confrontation. You have smooth sailing, and you can focus on one or two issues that you really want to get passed, you know, be it healthcare or environmental protections or what have you. But nobody's willing to stand up and take on these issues that they know are hot button issues and will cause controversy, and bring it out into the public forum so we can all talk about it and try to find a middle ground where we're all willing to say, yeah. That's reasonable.
Plus,
that's what we want
some
to
of
do.
the hard righties that have this fight against the Democrats over the vision of free speech, so to speak, and whatnot, their only real thing is because they know they like to misuse it for their own benefit.
You know that when some billionaire is spending 10 or 20 million dollars to push a certain issue, he's not doing it because he thinks it's right. It's because he thinks he can profit off of it after it's gone his way.
Totally. Absolutely.
That goes back to my whole argument about Citizens United.
Yeah. 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 You know, that argument with Citizens United is very much the same in like the tech lobby with right to repair and unbelievable lies and mistruths being thrown around. It's just ridiculous, you know. Yeah.
And, you know, the next thing, and this is the half step I was talking about, is I do think we need to finally sit down and have a national conversation about healthcare.
Oh, yeah.
I think.
But Trump's going to fix it. He's 2 weeks away.
Yeah, from 2016.
Yeah, he's got a concept of a plan, apparently.
But I mean, our system doesn't work. People, if you get somebody in your family who develops a long-term major illness, you're basically either going to have to write them off and say, sorry, Grandpa, you're going to die, or you're going to go bankrupt trying to get them the treatment they need to continue.
Yeah.
And we really need to start looking at the fact that the U.S., almost uniquely of all the other developed nations in the Western world, doesn't have state-sponsored healthcare, at least at some basic level.
Yeah.
And we need to do that. We honestly do.
Well, the interesting thing, the NHS in this country, everyone claims it's broken. But even a broken NHS is way better than what's going on in America.
Oh, damn straight. You know, and I think that's one of the things that most people who live in countries that do have state-sponsored healthcare will tell you. Yeah, there are things about it that aren't working right, that we don't like, that people are, you know, taking advantage of it or whatever. But at least we have this much, and that is something, as opposed to the U.S. where it's, sorry, you ain't got any money, you gonna die. or live in pain or misery or what have you. And that's inhumane, to put it in simple, blunt terms.
Absolutely.
It's inhumane.
Absolutely. I've said it many times on the show. A healthy population contributes. There's money flow. It's commerce. It's capitalism, and this whole I hear Americans, mostly Republicans, whenever I mention Canada and healthcare. Oh, so that's where you have to wait in line for 3 years and blah blah and whatnot. And my experience is up into, including now in my 50s, is anytime I need help, I simply go to the doctor. And then afterwards, if I need real treatment or something, I get an appointment. I go see a specialist at the hospital. They do their thing. There's clinics I can just walk into. Most of my medication is just simply covered. And as such, I'm always free to visit Tim Hortons and contribute to the financial machine that is society. It just simply is better.
Just comes down to coffee and donuts in the end, doesn't it?
The argument that, oh, well, you have to, wait, and you have death boards that decide whether you get treatment. You look at the U.S. and we have to wait, even if you're, I have arguably fairly top tier medical coverage as a military retiree with additional private stuff and Medicare on top of that.
Right.
I still end up, when I need to see a doctor, at least a week before I can get an appointment.
Yeah, and when they decided you were going to get the knees done, they didn't just do it the next day, did they?
No, they didn't. And it was a long process you have to go through.
Yeah.
And if you're saying, well, the death boards, tell me what the difference is with your insurance company that gets to look at whatever procedure you had done in the ER and say, well, we ain't going to cover that. That's more than we want to cover.
Yeah.
That's effectively a death board. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
So the arguments that are being put forth by the people that don't want state-sponsored healthcare are ridiculous, honestly. Because they're not valid.
It always comes down to, but what if somebody benefits from my taxes?
Don't they benefit from your taxes right now because they can drive on public roads?
Yes, exactly.
That your tax money was used for. Don't they benefit because you have health services that inspect the water quality in cities?
Oh no, you used to have. You used to have that.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Admittedly, under Trump, we're going to privatize everything, and only people that are willing to pay the premium fees get clean water, get health care, get to use the roads. Everybody else, you're screwed.
Yep. Yeah. There's a lot of
just a quick interrupting, Mr. Dilson. Just a quick interrupting.
Yeah.
We had a super sticker that we missed a long
Yes, you're right. You're right.
ago.
I totally got sidetracked when I was trying to help on my side with Commander's connectivity issues tonight, but there's nothing I could do. So yes, you're right. Yeah. Well, I want to check the link that you're using to join. Maybe there's a typo in it and you've got a too high a bit rate set or something. I want to check it out. But yeah, Yvonne Way came in with a super sticker earlier, and we totally missed it. Thanks, Yvonne Way. It was the little fox guy doing a little message. It's too small for me to read. Oh, here, I'm trying to do my hearts thing. I'm not even on camera. Fuck.
It says "Up yours, Trump."
Oh, does it? Okay. Yeah, it was signed by Vinny Barbarino. It says "Up yours with a rubber hose," or "Up your nose with a rubber hose." There you go. All right. Thanks, Yvonne Way. I like the super stickers. The little foxy guy is always cool. Is there anything?
Yeah, sorry, Commander.
Yeah. I think he's just in the middle of a dropout. So let's just see. He might need a second. Oh, okay. Now you're back. Okay, proper. I
forgot when I rebooted, I didn't bring YouTube back up so I could watch the chat screen.
Oh, okay.
I've got a story for you here. You might be interested in, Commander. There's a top US Army general stationed in South Korea said he's been turning to artificial chatbot to help him think through key command and personnel decisions. The latest sign that even the Pentagon's senior leaders are experimenting with AI tools. Yes. He was using ChatGPT to refine how he makes choices affecting thousands of troops.
Wow.
I'll put it this way. There are a lot of functions done at the lower levels by enlisted personnel who are maintaining personnel records or something like that, that honestly could be helped greatly by doing something along those lines. But the decision-making process of, is this person qualified for advancement? Is this person qualified for reenlistment? Does this award they've been submitted for seem reasonable? That's something the commanders have to look at and do personally. They can't shuffle that off onto an AI. So you could make the administrative portion of something at the lower levels a little more automated. I don't think, at least initially, you want to reduce the number of administrative personnel you have, but you could use those to assist those AIs to assist those personnel in doing their work.
Yeah, I mean, it's
beyond a certain level. Once you get to the decision maker level, it really needs a human to look over things and decide whether A or B is the better choice.
Yeah.
It seems to me this is a little bit of an inflammatory kind of like press piece. Because, when he's getting down to decisions, he's basically like trying to figure things out. It's not like he's saying, well, I just go with whatever it tells me. But, they've been saying that AI has already been used, tested in combat simulations. Well, of course it has, because that's what combat simulations are.
Yeah, the Navy has on many of its air defense ships a system called Aegis. And one of the key elements of what that includes, and it's a system of systems, so I'm not going to get into all the details, but because modern naval warfare with missiles and all that stuff going on is so fast, you almost need to take the human out of the decision-making process and let it be handled by AI. Because if I have to, as a human, sit there and watch the radar thing coming in and say, okay, now fire, and then the guy sitting in the console next to me has to push the button for the thing to fire, by the time that's all occurred, we've already missed the engagement envelope, and that missile's going to hit us because we were too slow. You can't speed that process up. It's just humanly impossible, because I have to hear, I have to assess, the whole OODA loop thing that the military likes to talk about. And so those kind of things definitely are helped by having an AI, but you don't want to go down the road so far that you end up in a situation as in the movie War Games, with Matthew Broderick.
Yeah.
Yeah, you let decisions of that
God, I hope not.
level without having human oversight. But once you're in the heat of battle, sometimes you need to just go hands off and say, hit the auto button and let the machine do it.
I think the key takeaway from this story is potentially the fact that he was using like an open system like ChatGPT to input his commands, and there's obviously potential leakage of sensitive information. I mean, like you say, it doesn't go into details of what he was discussing with ChatGPT. I mean, if you're going to have anything, it's got to be a closed system in the military, their own AI.
Yeah. Put it inside the SIPR system, as we call it. which is DoD secure.
Oh, yeah. No, let Pete Hegseth know about that. He might like that.
Yeah. But from the way you initially told me about this incident, the impression I got was that the officer involved was sloughing off his admin work onto an AI, or letting it assist in doing some of that stuff, because it was too time consuming for him to do it.
Mm.
And that sounds to me like it's more assisting systemic failure within a chain of command, because if you have an effective chain of command, all that stuff that you're dealing with gets taken care of at lower levels.
Yeah, it's micromanaged.
Yeah, and you should only be dealing with issues at the upper level that really require somebody of that seniority to make a decision.
Right.
So, but yeah, I concur with you. If they're actually using it to make military as opposed to personnel or supply type decisions, then there's a problem.
That makes sense. Very much so.
But I think the reality is that as time goes on, we are more and more going to find automated systems. I don't want to use AI because that's a misnomer, really. But we're going to have more and more automated systems handling that kind of low-level administrative work, and having your supervisory personnel doing supervisory work as opposed to doing administrative.
Yeah. It means he's going to spend more time on the golf course.
Even in the business, even in the business sector, it's the same thing. You know, how much work does the secretary do as opposed to how much does the boss do? Well, if you're doing it properly and you have a good secretary, the secretary's handling a large portion of that work and not pushing junk for the boss to do. They're culling out that stuff that the boss really doesn't need to waste his time dealing with.
If the culture was too micromanaged, you would just end up getting rid of some of the lower and just have the higher do it all. It's very much structured for a reason, because you just can't wait that long in action and stuff, right? You need to be able to decide at your level properly. Isn't that basically it?
Yeah, exactly.
It is kind of funny. Like at the moment, every second advert on YouTube is basically saying, "Oh, you can get an AI agent to help you with your, your company and all this kind of stuff." Yeah. I don't even understand how that could possibly work.
There's been a lot of discussion about that, and people saying that effectively the money folks have been pushing the whole AI thing, and this is like another housing bubble that's building up, and it's going to pop and collapse at some point, because everybody's been, we're going to invest in AI because it's so important. And the folks who are really in the know are looking at this saying that we're nowhere near being able to let AI handle much of this stuff.
Well, when this bubble pops, we're all going to be covered in AI digital pus.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at the results, there's a cool music channel, Rick Beato. He's really cool. He's in his early 60s, been a producer and a musician and a writer and everything and so on. And he started asking ChatGPT some funny questions about doing some math that would generate big numbers. And at first, the AI was like, "Oh, there's too many zeros in that, Here, I could show you the number." And he's like, "No, say it to me." Right. And so the AI starts trying and just butchered it big time. And the AI didn't really have a clue what the true answer was. And then he showed a video clip of his, at the time, 9-year-old son doing that same exact question with his eyes closed from memory and saying all the strange versions of billion, trillion that keep going up the ranks as you go. Kid knew them all, man. And the AI had not a clue. And then he kept screwing with it more and more, and it just kept breaking more and more. And he was doing it to prove a point. You people out there that think this stuff is smart, it's dumber than dog shit, man.
Now.
Yes, exactly.
That's the key. And I think the whole AI bubble thing they're talking about is that the folks that are pushing it right now know that it isn't capable of doing this stuff, but are trying to imply, to get people to invest in their companies, imply that, oh, it will be there very, very soon and able to do all this stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
And you talk to people who are kind of in the know and they say, yeah, soon, if you know, are referring to like glacial time.
Yeah. The reality is you need some unbelievable computational horsepower to produce proper, somewhat instant results for complicated questions. And we're just not there yet. If the human race was ready to ask a question and go make a cup of coffee and come back and see if the answer was there the way it was in like 60s science fiction computers, AI would be better. But AI knows there's not a person on the planet that's going to wait 20 minutes for a result that could be wrong.
Well, it's the quantum computers are going to be better at it because they'll answer the question before you even asked it.
You know, it's like the, yeah,
I know.
You know, we should do it like the 3-body problem and just use a human abacus, you know?
Mm. Oh, I thought you were going to say, I thought you were going to say, bloody, what's its name? Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. We'll build a planet.
Yeah.
To figure things out.
Yeah. And in the end, it's 42.
42.
I am close to my time limit. I know it's not quite a full show, but we are spending some time in the kitchen tonight to make something real nice. And he hasn't quite decided what, so we have to get on it pretty damn soon because supper's going to be like an hour and a half or something if we, you know. So it's one of those nights. I mean, we're not supposed to be doing this tonight. It was supposed to be yesterday. My fault, you know. I had a weird situation where my nose grew into a third arm, and I have 3 thumbs growing from my chin. And the next door neighbor stuck his head out of my ear and asked if he had to pay the rent. So I don't know what's going on, but I'll see if I can't get myself healed and back to normal soon.
I thought you said you were trying to get your foreskin reapplied to get rid of the autism.
I was trying to crawl back out of it. I don't know what happened. But I think it definitely gave me something. So yeah, what do you guys think? Commander, what do you think? You're connected decently right now, so let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's hope that it stays. Yeah, I liked what happened with the No Kings protest marches. They were done peaceably. They made a point of wrapping up all the marches well before, you know, dusk, so that people could get out of the area, and it would make it impossible, if not, or difficult, if not impossible, for provocateurs to sneak in and try to cause incidents. I like the fact that so many people across the country participated. The numbers I've heard are something in the vicinity of close to 5 million people. I think that's a very positive sign. And I hope we can continue that. We know it's putting pressure on the folks in the administration. And I think at this point, the more pressure we can apply to them, the better.
Absolutely.
Other than that, my usual admonition to please continue to communicate with your elected officials, write
Yeah. Yeah.
What is the number for the White House?
I don't have it handy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because I mean, as much as they got to toe party lines and so on and this and that, they do actually want to get reelected. So they've got to know that what their constituents are really wanting, right?
Yeah. I'm developing a dangerous level of hope that things are changing.
Yeah.
Because I've noticed in the 4 protests we've had in our little town here, each time the number of protesters has gone up, and each time the number of counter protesters has gone down.
Good.
So I think it's finally beginning to have an impact. It doesn't mean we can sit back and relax and say, oh, good, our work is done. It's not. We're still in very beginning stages of it, but we're building the momentum that I think is absolutely necessary to successfully getting out from under this slime-covered rock that is the Trump administration.
Yeah. Agreed there, man. Agreed. What do you think, Dunk?
Yeah, so the Kings, the No Kings protest was a resounding success. Commander, I'm hearing numbers of 7 million and upwards, so it could be bigger than you think.
It might be globally, or I know there were a lot of big protests outside of the U.S. too.
Yeah. No, I think that's the numbers just from the U.S. Now, there has been 22 arrests noted so far, but all of them from anti-protesters, and one of them was turned into a great meme. Some boomer was like yelling and shouting at the crowd, and some kid runs in and steals his sunglasses off his face, and then he chases after him down the street. People are trying to stop him and calm him down. He's fighting everybody. He face plants onto the ground. He's got his face is all cut up, and so he's now been turned into a meme. He's all over the place on the internet. People are just like grabbing images of him and
that's funny,
shaming him. Oh, I put a link in from yesterday, so that's out there. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, cool. And big thanks to the team here. We got Mexi Girl on the Shills account tonight. We got Shayna Caldwell with us, PJ CNET, Chris Lundy, Jose, Super Chat, Matt. Huge thanks to the team. And thanks for joining us to all the viewers, subscribers, members, donators, super stickers, shout outs like Yvonne Way there. Huge thanks, everybody.
Thanks for your stickers and your knickers.
Knickers in the post, please. I'll give you my address. See you soon, everybody. Take care out there.
Stay chilly. Don't forget to hit like, share, subscribe, and all those nice naughty nil things.
Yes. Especially if you don't like us, then hit like, share, and subscribe, and then share again. Just to bring your other fellow trolls here to pick on us too.
And tell us in the comments why you don't like us. That's
yes. I love being told why I'm scum.
Yeah. We're used to it.
Good night, everybody.
I never liked doing another breakfast funny.
Well, she did. Take care, everyone. See ya.
There you go.